Let me start with a bold truth that might sting a little. Some women don't actually like you. They just like the game of keeping you around. That's right. Not every woman you meet is looking for something real. Some are testing, some are bored, and some simply enjoy the attention. And if you don't see the signs early, you'll waste your time, your energy, and probably your self-respect on someone who was never serious about you in the first place. Here's the thing. Most men don't realize. Women know exactly what they're doing when they play games. It's not an accident. She knows how to text just enough to keep you hooked, how to act interested when it benefits her, and how to disappear when she doesn't feel like being bothered. And if you're not paying attention, you'll convince yourself she just needs time, or that she's complicated. But no, what's really happening is she's stringing you along because it feeds her ego. Now, I'm not saying every woman does this, but the ones who do, they're dangerous for your growth as a man because they blur the line between reality and fantasy. You start believing you're building something real, when in truth, she's only building her confidence off your effort. That's why on Dark Facts 2. 0. I'm about to break this down for you. I'm going to show you the clear, undeniable signs that a woman is just playing games with you. No sugarcoating, no excuses, just the truth from a woman's perspective, so you can finally see what's really going on when her actions don't match her words. By the end of this, you'll be able to spot game players instantly. And more importantly, you'll know how to protect yourself from wasting time on someone who doesn't value you. 1. She's hot. She's hot and cold and loves watching you. Chase and cold and loves watching you chase. If you've ever felt like you're on an emotional roller coaster with a woman, one day she's all over you and the next day she's distant and cold, that's not an accident. That's the first and clearest sign she's playing games with you. Here's what you need to understand. When a woman is genuinely interested, she doesn't make you guess. She doesn't need to create fake tension or disappear just to get your attention. Real interest is steady, consistent, and it feels grounding. But when a woman is only half interested, she'll flip the switch on you. Warm one moment, icy the next, just to see how hard you'll work to win her back. And the truth is, many men fall for it. You start questioning yourself. Did I do something wrong? Did I text too much? Did I not say the right thing? You go into overdrive trying to fix a problem that doesn't actually exist. That's exactly the game she's playing, because every time you overinvest to get her attention again, her ego gets fed. She sees your effort as proof that she still has control. Let me give it to you straight. When she's hot and cold, it's not about needing space or being confused. It's about keeping you hooked. She knows that the sudden withdrawal makes you chase harder, and the little crumbs of affection she throws your way afterward feel like a reward. It's a push-pull dynamic, and she thrives on it. Now, don't confuse this with a woman who's genuinely busy or going through a tough week. Everyone has moments where they can't give 100%. But the difference is consistency. If you notice a repeated cycle of affection, followed by distance, and it feels like she's deliberately creating tension, you're not dealing with genuine feelings. You're dealing with a game. Here's the bottom line. A woman who really likes you won't put you through emotional whiplash. She won't need to manipulate your emotions to keep your attention. That hot and cold behavior is her way of keeping control without ever actually giving you anything real. And the more you chase, the more power she feels she has. Which is why if you recognize this pattern, the smartest move isn't to chase harder, it's to pull back and see. If she steps forward, if she doesn't, you'll know the truth. She was never interested in building something real. She was just playing games. 2. She thrives on attention. She thrives on attention, not connection. Not connection. Here's something men need to understand. Not every woman who entertains you actually wants you. Sometimes she just wants your attention. And the difference is huge. When a woman truly likes you, she's looking for a connection. She's invested in building something, whether that's a real relationship or even just meaningful chemistry. But when she's playing games, it's not about connection at all, it's about validation. She wants the texts, the compliments, the good morning messages, the reassurance that she's desired. But she doesn't actually plan to give you anything solid in return. You'll notice it in the way conversations go. A woman who's interested will engage with you, ask questions back, and show curiosity about your life. A woman who's playing games, she'll respond just enough to keep you hooked, but never enough to deepen the interaction. It's like she's dangling a carrot in front of you, making sure you're still chasing, but never actually letting you reach it. This is why some men end up feeling drained. In these situations, they put in all the effort, initiating conversations, planning hangouts, showing consistent interest, but in return, they get surface-level replies, last-minute cancellations, or vague excuses. It feels like she's present, but only halfway. That's because she doesn't want to lose your attention, but she also doesn't want to give you the clarity of her real intentions. And here's the truth from a woman's perspective. Sometimes we do this because attention is addictive. It feels good to know a man is chasing. To know that you can pick up your phone at any time and find someone waiting to give you validation. It feeds the ego. But if you look closely, you'll see that it's not about you. It's about how you make her feel about herself. That's the dangerous part, because while you're trying to build something with her, she's only trying to build her self-esteem. Now here's the part that's hard for men to accept. If you keep giving your attention freely to a woman like this, she won't suddenly wake up one day and decide to take you seriously. The opposite happens. She starts to see your attention as cheap because you're giving it away without requiring anything real from her, and once she sees it that way, she'll continue to use it for as long as you allow it without ever stepping into a real connection. So if you find yourself in a dynamic where she seems to light up when you're giving her attention, but never shows real investment in return, you have your answer. She's not genuinely interested, she's just playing games to keep you orbiting around her. The way to cut through this is simple. She's hot and cold on purpose. Pull back your attention and see if she replaces it with effort. If she doesn't, then she never wanted you. She only wanted the spotlight you were giving her. 3. She's hot and cold on purpose. One of the clearest signs a woman is playing games is when her energy toward you is inconsistent. And I don't mean normal mood swings or having a bad day, I mean deliberately going hot and cold because it keeps you guessing and keeps you hooked. Here's how it usually plays out. One day she's blowing up your phone, laughing at everything you say and acting like she's genuinely into you. The next day she goes silent, leaves you on red, or suddenly acts distant, almost as if you don't exist, and then just when you start to wonder if she's gone for good, she pops back up with a flirty text or a playful comment, reeling you back in. This back and forth isn't an accident. Women who play games know exactly what they're doing. It's a form of control. By being unpredictable, she keeps you chasing her approval. You're left constantly trying to figure out what version of her you're going to get today. And that confusion keeps you emotionally invested. From the female perspective, this works because men often hate uncertainty. Most men prefer clarity. They want to know where they stand, what a woman wants, and whether things are moving forward. But when a woman is inconsistent, it creates a kind of tension in you. You start thinking, did I do something wrong? Should I try harder? And that's exactly the trap. The more effort you put in to stabilize the situation, the more she benefits from the game. The problem is, when you accept this hot and cold behavior, you're basically agreeing to be her emotional yo-yo. You allow her to dictate when you feel close and when you feel ignored. That's not real interest. That's manipulation, disguised as attraction. Here's the key. When a woman truly likes you, her interest won't vanish overnight. Sure, she might have days when she's busy or stressed, but overall her actions will feel steady and clear. She won't need to pull away just to reel you back in, because she actually wants you there in the first place. Real attraction doesn't rely on creating insecurity in the other person. Men often overlook this game because the hot moments feel so good. When she's Alan, it gives you a dopamine rush. It makes you believe you're finally getting somewhere, but that's exactly why the cold moments hurt so much and why you end up working even harder to get back to the hot version of her. That cycle can keep a man stuck for weeks, months, even years if he doesn't recognize it for what it is. 4. She only wants attention. Not you only wants attention. Not you. This one stings a little, but it's one of the most common games women play. Sometimes a woman doesn't actually like you. She just likes the way you make her feel. She's not looking for a real connection, a relationship, or even something consistent. What she's after is your attention because it feeds her ego. You'll notice this type of woman usually shows up when she's bored, lonely, or in need of validation. She'll text you out of the blue, act overly flirty, or say just enough to spark your interest again. But if you look closely, you'll see that nothing meaningful actually comes out of these interactions. She's not investing in you, she's not showing consistent effort, and she's not moving the connection forward. All she's doing is pulling you in just enough so she can feel wanted. From a woman's perspective, here's the truth. Attention is like currency. Even if she has no genuine feelings for you, she might still want the reassurance that she could have you if she wanted. It makes her feel attractive, desired, and in control. And as long as you keep giving her that attention without asking for more, she benefits while you lose time, energy, and emotional peace. This is why some women will string men along for months or years without ever committing. She'll never come right out and say she's not interested, because then she loses her supply. Instead, she keeps you hanging with mixed signals, breadcrumbs of affection, and just enough hope to stop you from walking away completely. What you need to understand is that when a woman is genuinely into you, her actions go beyond seeking attention. She wants to see you spend time with you and create experiences. Together, she's not just popping in and out when it's convenient for her. Real interest leads to effort, and effort always shows, but when it's just a game, you'll feel a pattern. She disappears when she doesn't need you and suddenly reappears when she wants that little ego boost again. Think about how many times you've received a text like, "Hey stranger," or a random compliment out of nowhere, right, when you are finally moving on. That's not coincidence. It's her pulling on the string making. Sure, you're still available to fuel her when she needs it. She's hot and cold on purpose. 5. She's hot and cold on purpose. One of the clearest signs a woman is just playing games with you is when she runs hot and cold. One day she's giving you all her attention, acting like she's genuinely interested, maybe even talking about future plans or being overly affectionate. Then, without warning, she pulls away, ignores your calls, and acts like you don't even exist. It's confusing, it's frustrating, and it leaves you questioning what you did wrong. But here's the reality. This pattern isn't an accident. Let me paint it for you. Imagine you've been talking to a woman who seemed so into you last week. She was texting you good morning, asking about your day, and even hinted at hanging out soon. Then suddenly she goes silent. Hours pass, maybe even days, and when she finally responds, it's short, vague, and cold. You're left overanalyzing every word you said, wondering why she's pulling back. Then, just as you're starting to give up and move on, she comes back with the warm energy again. She flirts. She's playful, and she makes you feel like you're back on track. You think, okay, maybe it was just a rough patch, and you dive back in, but you'll see that your time and attention are some of your most valuable assets. And when you start guarding them like a fortress, you'll naturally attract women who respect that energy and bring real value to your life. Because remember, energy follows. Energy and what you put out is what you get back. It's not about playing hard to get or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about knowing your worth and setting clear boundaries so that you don't fall into the trap of chasing after someone who doesn't deserve you, and that's exactly the kind of wisdom we share here on Dark Facts 2. 0. Because we believe men need to see the unfiltered truth and gain the confidence to make decisions that honor themselves. Another thing to realize is that emotional manipulation can be subtle, and it often masquerades as mystery or independence. But true independence is consistent respect and care, not cold games and unpredictability. A woman who respects you will be clear and reliable in her communication. She won't leave you wondering if you did something wrong or if you should try harder. Now, you might be thinking, what about those times when a woman does have a complicated life or past trauma, and that affects how she interacts? Well, that's valid. But here's the difference: when someone is genuinely interested and committed, they communicate that openly and make an effort to work through challenges with you instead of hiding behind games and mixed signals. The harsh reality is that not everyone you meet will want the same things as you, and that's okay. But you owe it to yourself to recognize when you're being strung along, because the longer you stay stuck in that cycle, the more it chips away at your confidence and ability to trust your own judgment. And that's why awareness is power. Remember that a healthy connection is built on mutual respect, honesty, and effort, It's not a guessing game or a chase for validation. If you ever feel like you're constantly the one giving more than you're receiving or questioning your worth, that's a huge red flag, and you deserve better than to settle for crumbs. So when you catch yourself caught in a pattern of hot and cold behavior from a woman, ask yourself, are you being seen and valued for who you are, or are you just a convenient source of attention? For her, don't be afraid to pull back and see how she responds, because that will show you a lot more than any sweet words ever could. And if she doesn't step up, that's your cue to walk away without guilt, without second guessing, because the right woman will match your energy and effort and make you feel secure and appreciated, not confused and drained. This is the kind of real talk you'll get on Dark Facts 2.0, because we don't sugarcoat or tell you what you want to hear. We tell you what you need to know to grow stronger and smarter in your relationships and life. So stay tuned and subscribe if you haven't already, because the next videos will dive even deeper into how to build unshakable confidence, attract high-quality women, and stop wasting time on those who don't deserve your heart. Until then, remember, your time and respect are priceless. Guard them fiercely and never settle for less than you deserve, because the moment you do that, you open the door to a future filled with genuine connection, happiness, and growth, and that's the ultimate power move.